So that ties into, and you may have already answered it, how to win over others on your ideas or the governor's ideas. The idea of inflation-sensitive funding, higher gas taxes, the issue of the possibility of cameras at red lights so that people automatically get a ticket if they go through. A lot of people are going to resist that. How do you sell these kind of things to the public? But you partly answered that, and there's a cost if we don't fix these things.
To me, again, 28 years in running a private company, every place I've worked on the private side, every decision you make, you sit down and you analyze, what if we do it, what if we don't do it? All right, what's the implications in cost, what's the implications to the company, what's the implications to the staff, anybody who could be affected by this decision, what are the positives, what are the consequences? And all I've tried to do in this role is present that. And to me, you mentioned red light cameras. We have accidents at intersections and we have people running red lights. We're not doing this for revenue, we're doing this for safety. And there's a proven correlation to once you put the cameras in, people stop running red lights. All right. Well, the red light's there for a reason, right? It's there for safety. It's not there because we're trying to generate revenue. The folks who think it's revenue generating and think we shouldn't be doing it for revenue, I'd ask you to just compare that to, do you think we shouldn't be doing speeding tickets? Why do we do speeding tickets? The policemen are there to basically keep you driving the safe speed for safety. Not because we want revenue out of it, but simply the highway was designed for 55 miles an hour. That's what you should be driving at, not 75. That's unsafe. I don't see anybody arguing that we shouldn't be issuing speeding tickets. All we're doing is using technology to reduce the cost of the enforcement. And in the end, and for everyone who's opposed to red light cameras, I would just say, think of the consequence. If there's accidents, if you know the accidents are going to be reduced from this, and you know compliance is going to go up, if it was your kid riding a bike across an intersection, or your family member entering that intersection, wouldn't you prefer that people stop? And do you really care how we chose to get them to stop? The way we're choosing is lower cost than going out and hiring a bunch of policemen. It's lower cost. And in the end, it's going to improve safety. So, to me, that is the ultimate responsibility of this organization, for me in this position, is to ensure that you and your family can go out on those highways and be safe. And this is one method that improves safety.
It's excellent. What I've heard you say, what I got out of it is yeah, there is this large task here. But we take what we know, we take what we've learned, and we look at the pluses and the minuses. Like you say, what if we do and what if we don't? And we weigh that out. And then, depending on how whoever, maybe it's a governor's decision, maybe it's the public's decision, maybe it's a legislator's decision, whether we pay more taxes or not, what falls out, falls out. You have done your duty to put it all out there for people to decide whether they want to be part of it or not.
People need to have the opportunity to make an informed decision. My job is to give them the information on both sides of the ledger and look at it objectively. I'm a public servant, and I recognize that my role as Secretary of Transportation is to provide factual information to the public, again, who I consider to be our shareholders, to the legislature, who I consider to be the board of directors of this company, and then allow them to make their decisions. And the public will influence the legislators and vice versa. I'm just simply trying to present, here's a factual evaluation of where the system is, where the investment level is, what I think it should be, and what are the consequences of doing it and not doing it.
One more question and then we'll wrap up. Work-life balance. Of course, when you got this job, I remember it was right shortly after that you had your twins, and here you are in a new job, significant job. And how do you balance all that out?
Well, I think anybody in any job has to balance work and life. And to me, all the years of leading up to this helped me to do that. Frankly, when I was younger, I didn't do such a good job at work-life balance. I worked too much. When I was in my late 20s, early 30s, you say I'm having twins late in life. I didn't get married till I was 42. Well, I didn't do such a good job of balancing work and life when I was young. And I think when you're younger, and I'll just say this to everybody that's watching this, there's a tendency to get wrapped up in your career and think, this is exciting, it's interesting, I've got to go do all these things that are going to help me get into a better position, leadership, and you might miss some opportunities on the personal side that you don't want to miss. Fortunately for me, I'm getting these opportunities later in life, perhaps later than I should have, in the case some days the twins wear me out, but I think any parent would tell you that. But whether you have this child that I have now, I prioritize my family. And each week I have to look at the week and say how many days and time, how much time is available, and what am I going to prioritize about this job. I could spend endless hours on any given topic here. I have to decide which ones I'm going to focus on that week. But as I blend and look at the week, I have to look at what's important to my family, what's important to me and my health, meaning I'm still playing basketball, I'm still getting to the gym to stay in shape. I still play in a band because that helps me kind of release away from this technical field and play music, which is a little less structured. And I know that in the end, both the physical activity and the band activity will make me a better father, a better husband, a better Secretary of Transportation.
Touch on that a little bit more, the band, because I remember when you were first made secretary, there was an article in the newspaper. Barry Schoch is playing in a band, appearing at some local place, and I heard you make some statements about that, which made me think of you. This guy's a real person. So
you didn't know that before?
No, but I guess it's, and I'll touch on. When I heard some things about how you're communicating with employees, and I was thinking, yeah, this guy's got something going. And yet, he's not going to stop playing in a band because he's Secretary of Transportation, because some people might not appreciate that.
Well, when you say it's like, what's the secretary doing?
Not that you play badly in the band.
Right, why is he in a rock and roll band? He's Secretary of
Yeah.
Transportation. But each one of us out there, everyone here that's watching this, you have your own personal interests that make you feel good about yourself. And everybody's different. I mean, I like to read fiction books. I like to go fishing and start fishing. I like to go to the beach. I mean, those are my interests. Music's an interest. Athletics are an interest for me. I think the blend of as you ask, in a personal, professional life is about making sure that you're taking care of yourself and your own interests. And obviously, family's a big part of that. Your responsibilities as a parent, as a spouse, are a big part. As a brother, as a sister, as a son, a daughter, the family responsibilities are a part of your life. But if you defer all your personal interests and you say, okay, I like playing music, but I'm not going to do that anymore because of my job, your job will suffer. And for me, I know that the days that I play basketball, I know that I get good physical exercise. It felt good. I felt better about myself. I'll feel better, and I'll make better decisions here. So I think everyone has to look at every week and say, how can I keep a balance in here? Now, some weeks it's tougher than others. Some weeks the demands of the job or your family will say you have to sacrifice something. I think the importance for me is then say, okay, well, the next week I may have to move the curve a little bit that direction and spend a little more time on personal things there, so that in the end I don't feel I cheated my job, my family, or myself. Not easy, but I think it's as important as anything else you might do in your career development and your personal development, is making sure that you take care of all those things.
Excellent. As a closeout, and then I'll wrap it up, anything you want to say, a message to the viewers about whether it's PennDOT, whether it's leadership, whatever.
I would just say that in general, when you go through life, different challenges become before you, present themselves, different opportunities present themselves. And I would just say that for me, you asked me about, did anyone ever say, you're never going to achieve that? I've looked at it every day, every week, every month is what appears in front of me and what can I do about it? What can my role be in helping to improve that situation? And I think if you do that, you will rise to whatever level of leadership or responsibility that you're comfortable with and you're capable of. But you'll show everyone around you that you care about what you're doing, you care about them by communicating with them, and you'll be successful. And for me, I couldn't be more thankful for all the people I've worked with, both here within the department and every place, people like you and folks that have been friends for my entire life that have influenced me. Whether any of you know it or not, every single one of you has had an influence on me and continues to do so. And so for everybody out there, I'd encourage you to interact and listen and watch what people are doing around you. Take an interest in what they're doing, because for one, it will help a relationship with them, and you may learn something from it, and they'll learn something from you. For me, it's been a tremendous ride. I've had a great deal of success, and if the whole career ended tomorrow, I'd be incredibly thankful for what I've experienced as a professional and as a person. So don't ever, if Jim says, someone says you can't achieve something, that's simply not, shouldn't enter your field of vision. You'll achieve what you believe you can achieve. And to me, I've always believed that I can achieve whatever I set out to do. Do I always have the successful end to those pursuits? Of course not. But as Jim said earlier, you never stop trying, you never stop learning, you never keep advancing. And I'd encourage all of you to try to do that on a daily basis.
Awesome. I want to thank you, Barry.
Good to see you, Jim. Thanks for having me.
There you have it. Interview with Barry Schoch on leadership topics as related to his job as Secretary of Transportation. This interview was every bit as special as I thought it was going to be, because when I've heard him speak over the last couple of months at Harrisburg University at an engineering function, I knew there was something excellent here. And I hope you find it too. And also I hope that you pay attention to what he's been saying about the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, and don't listen to the negatives that you're hearing, but there's something going on here that's pretty doggone good that we need to hear about, we need to look for, we need to pay attention to, because our transportation systems affect us. So that's it. Harrisburg Biz Leaders. We offer great content on leadership. This is our first interview with a high-profile leader who's a down-to-earth character. So thank you for viewing, and we'll see you at Harrisburg Biz Leaders. Awesome, dude.
Thanks.